Everybody, welcome to our pre-match press conference to preview our fixture against Newcastle United. And if we can start off with Vinny O'Connor from Sky Sports, please.
Just hold on, Beb. Could you give me permission to record, please? Still waiting for it.
Mike Hughes, ready on this side. Vinny, we'll start
off
with you.
All good. Hi Frank, hope you're well.
Hi Vinny.
Obviously, Saturday was really enjoyable at Goodison. I know you spent a lot of time after doing your media duties as well, meeting fans, signing autographs. I think you were climbing over barriers at one point as well. So when you reflect on that, what kind of impression did the whole day really make on you? And does it also give kind of an indication as to what it might be like if you were able to deliver success at the football club?
Yeah, I think in general terms it gave me a strong impression. It was nothing I didn't expect. I know the stories of the passion of the fans, that they want to see a team that plays in their own image with passion and intensity and a desire to play for Everton. I think they saw that in the team, they reacted. That's what made the day so good. So the impression of me was great, and I really appreciated the personal impression myself, the fact that the fans were very supportive of myself, but most importantly the team. So yeah, you know, if we can get something going here, of course, we need the fans. They need to see the players produce. That will be the work that we have to do going forward. But yeah, it was a really good day. But it's very important that I am the first one to say that it's just a start. It's a great day for me personally, great day for the team, but there's a lot of work to do.
Yeah, good weekend for another Evertonian, Kane Smith, wearing the Tony Hibbert shirt as Boreham Wood booked a place at Goodison Park. I mean, that was a heck of a story as well this weekend.
Yeah, incredible story. You know, for them as a club. I know the story of the chairman. I saw the delight in his eyes at the end, as you would, and this is the magic that the FA Cup brings. And for Luke and his team, every player, what a great achievement. And they'll be very welcome at Goodison. You know, in terms of Kane, I know he's a big Evertonian, but as a group, listen, I'm not trying to disrespect the game. It will be our absolute focus nearer the time. But great story. We'll welcome them, and then obviously we will approach the game very properly.
You said very early in your post-match interviews on Saturday, though, that this is a work in progress. So what more do you expect that you can get out of this group?
Well, some of that remains to be seen. I know there are good players here. I know that in the first week we had an impact, and I say that because it was clear to the eye. I think in the game there were lots of things that I liked. Watching the game back, there are things that we can certainly improve on, and that's only normal. So that's up to us. You know, what that looks like in 1 month, 2 months, whatever in the future, is up to how we can get the message across, how do the players take it on, how the confidence builds. We know where we want to go, and the players, I think, were very aware of that in the week. But these things do need time, so we have to try and get results at that time. But in terms of the style and what the basics of what the fans saw, that was a nice step in the right direction, and we'll continue in that way.
And with that need for results, Frank, how much of a defining moment in the season do you see these next two games?
Well, they're important games, but I think we have to stay calm because there's a long way to go. Come here with 18 games left. So to put everything on these two games, I think would be the wrong attitude. We just have to absolutely isolate them and focus on them in the right way against two strong teams. A game tomorrow night against a strong team that have just reinforced themselves with signings, have a passionate fan base that can affect the game. So it's important for us that we just approach that without fear, with confidence, but an understanding of the hard game that it is. But I don't want to put too much on these two games. We've got a long season to go to get to where we want to be. And at this point, it's about focusing on ourselves.
How are you looking squad-wise? How's that injury for Ben Godfrey? Do you know how serious it is yet? And is Dominic Calvert-Lewin fit?
Dominic's in the squad. So Dominic's been training for the last few days. Ben came back from his scan this morning and will be a 4 to 5 week injury, hamstring injury, we hope, without any issues. Decore is still probably 3 to 4 weeks away. Fabian Delph is 4 to 5 weeks away, to give you all the rundowns.
And Dele, Alli and Van der Beek straight into the squad?
Yeah, they're in the squad. I was pleased that they could see a performance that they saw the other day and the way we want to go. They've been great in training, integrated on the training pitch and off the training pitch as lads. So it's very important we're a tight unit. As the players showed the other day, there's competition in this squad now, which is the only way it can be at this level. So great to have them both in, and they're in the squad.
Just finally, from me, Frank, on Dele as well, because he's received a lot of support from the fans, because he's been criticised by former pros, one a former England manager, about things that have nothing to do with football. What have you made of that?
I've got actually, I've heard some of the reaction, and I've got a lot of respect for everyone who's spoken, ex-players, people that I respect and admire, and Alli McCoy, Alan Brazil, these people, Glenn Hoddle, that I would never go against their word. But when you're working closely with players, I'm working with Dele. My personal opinion is that I don't care what car he drives, what clothes he wears, as long as I get a lad that comes to training every day, wants to improve every day, respects the club, respects his teammates, and then produce, and give everything to produce. And I think, the modern day has moved on and it's changed. We all have to be very aware of that. And again, I'm not hitting back at any form of observation, because everyone's allowed their own opinion. But I can only deal with what's in front of me. And when I just mentioned there that Dele and Donny are both great lads, I mean it. And maybe Donny wears an overcoat that's longer than what Dele wears, a different kind of jacket. That doesn't bother me, as long as they produce on the pitch. Then I'm very happy with that. Everyone has their own individual personality. To try and handcuff that or restrict that, I think could be detrimental. So as I say, as long as players do the right behaviours when it comes to football and doing the right things, I've got no worries.
Cheers, Frank. All the best.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vinny. We'll go to James Cooper at Premier League Productions, please.
Yeah, good afternoon, Frank.
Hi.
A lot's been said and written about you in the last week or so, but what impression have the players made on you, and how have they changed perhaps your thought from the outside, seeing them in 16s, to the reality of training with them and working with them every day?
Yeah, well, that is the reality, though. So we are 16th, and there'll be reasons for that. The most important thing for me, I think, was to be quite clean, have quite a clean slate in my own head, have an idea of the squad from outside, but just see what you get. And I've seen a really hard-working, humble, I think is the right word, group, a really good group of players that when you want to talk in week one and want to make instant impact, it felt that they were really ready to listen. Maybe lacking confidence, yes, I think that's normal with results. But in the week, I saw a nice gradual uplift towards the Brentford game, and of course a good performance. But it's up to us to now really continue that. But my impressions in that sense, I can't fault a player in the squad. We have big challenges ahead, and it won't always be an easy road, even in these 18 games this season. But I can be happy at the moment where we're at, and now we need to just focus on what's in front.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like you've changed the mood already with a win. People are smiling. And I know what you've just said about the 2 games to come not being the be-all and end-all of the season, but you can change an outlook by winning those 2 games, can't you?
Yeah, we can. And that's, we have to be confident in ourselves, and we can change the outlook. Of course, at that point, you might start to be able to look upwards, but we're not there yet, and these are 2 tough games, and it's the Premier League. So, yeah, we're under. That's why I'm saying to stay calm, because they're tough games, and it shouldn't. We've only been here a week as coaching staff to try and change a team that was losing very regularly. It shouldn't be something that we have to go, okay, this is absolutely going to change and we're going to, fly at the blocks after Brentford and continue in that way. The aim is that, of course, but we have to be realistic, and that's why it's take the focus out of the big picture for these 2 games. Worry about them as they come, see where we are after Leeds.
How hard is it kind of preparing for a Newcastle team when perhaps even Eddie Howe doesn't know at this stage which team he's going to pick? Yeah,
that's challenging. Because of personnel, because of formation, and Eddie, I know, can be flexible, so we have to, it probably again reverts back to looking at ourselves and making sure that we get ourselves right, be ready for a couple of different eventualities in terms of personnel in their team, maybe team shape when it comes out, but that's our job to deal with that. But yeah, there's definitely a few things here that we might not be sure about until we maybe see the team sheet or the game starts.
Thanks, James. We'll go to Alistair McGowan at the BBC, please.
Hi, Frank.
Hi.
I just wondered what you'd made more generally of Newcastle since their takeover. Both obviously, bringing a lot more revenue, and we've seen the players that they've signed, but maybe from a PR point of view and their sort of associations with Saudi Arabia and what that can bring as well.
I haven't focused on that. In terms of seeing teams with the history and fan base and size of Newcastle, I welcome the fact that we're seeing teams in the greatest league in the world, in my opinion, that are striving to improve, and their fans are excited. Some of my friends are Newcastle fans, and they're very excited. And I only look at it in that way. Eddie Howe, I've got a huge amount of respect for. So I look at it with an interesting eye to see how they develop as a team, which they've already made moves to show the direction they want to go at, and stay away from the politics of it.
Just can I ask? Well, I don't know whether this is a political question, but just about the World Cup bid. You may have seen in the news today about sort of the UK and Ireland associations going for European Championship bid in 2028 rather than the World Cup bid in 2030. I just wondered what you thought of that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more focused on Newcastle than 2028 or 2030. As an Englishman, I love, the Euros showed us, the good side of the Euros from an English point of view, which were fantastic. And I grew up, Euro 96 was a huge impression on me as a tournament held in England with some, players that were my heroes. So I understand the want and desire of fans. I don't know why the decisions are made to go for this tournament or not, but any tournament that could be played in England is great. But it's not my line of focus, and I'll just watch it from the outside.
Thanks, Frank. I appreciate that. I'll let you get back to football questions now.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks, Alistair.